Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and we are fresh off of the backlash of everything that happened at the pay-per-view. And look who looks very, very happy tonight, kicking things off. It is Mort Goldberg, who is still, of course, your general manager after everything that went down at pay-per-view. A very happy man, as he announced a monster, a literal monster, a sea creature, more specifically, to take the job of taking on the Linebacks and Justice. He did so, and he destroyed them. And they looked pretty silly at the pay-per-view dealing with that thing, but I can't imagine anyone squaring up to that. Let's hear what the general manager has to say. Well, that was an uneventful pay-per-view, wasn't it? Nothing major or unusual going on. I kid, of course, as I feel you all need an explanation as to who or what the sea creature is. That will come in time. For now, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But he is here tonight to say hello. Sea creature, come on out. Oh God, no, is that thing here? Oh, no, 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 oh God, why on earth did he bring that thing here? The sea creature is here again. And he brought his own rock today. I thought Goldberg was in charge of the rock. I don't even know. I don't know what's going on here. Look at this. That is a sea creature. That is a literal sea creature. Who is here in the presence and in the flesh. Under the general manager's personal order and command. It's absolutely insane that this is a real thing. This man came, this not even a man, this monster came out and he attacked 4 of the best people on the roster. It's absolutely insane. All you guys need to know right now is that sea creature means you no harm to any of you, unless you try to undermine my authority again. Sea creature does what I say, and so will the rest of WIW from now on. I'm sorry I had to scare you all, but drastic times call for drastic measures. But tonight's not about that. Tonight is about celebration, which is why tonight I wanted to bring out a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has worked for 2 seasons to get where he is, and he has finally reached the top. A man who I knew was destined for great things, and a man I knew would be the one to overthrow the Justice Movement. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, your new WIW champion, Mason Foster. And here he comes, a man, or the man of the hour. A man who celebrates his first World Championship success, the WIW champion, Mason Foster, in a grueling match with the man that is Brad Schemes. He pushed himself to the limits to get the job done, and again it was a distraction that got the job done, so I wonder how he feels in the situation. But I know Schemes ain't particularly happy, and I know he'll probably feel he don't deserve it, but I saw nothing but belief and approval for the man Mason Foster finally winning his first World Championship. And I know for a fact that he won't care how he done it. The fact of the matter is he did it, and Mason is the champion at the end of the day. Thanks, Mort, and congrats on keeping your job. I was rooting for you. And thanks to all of you. You know, for 2 seasons ago, I began my wrestling journey here in WIW. Many other companies I will join and leave, but this will always be where it began, which makes it my home. All I ever wanted to become was WIW champion, and I'm so glad that it finally happened. But it wasn't because of me. It was because of every single one of you who voted me to be in that match. It was because of every single one of you who like and subscribe to the Gaming Blake Network. It's because of all of you I work harder every single day to become the best that I can be. It is an honor to finally be called your Hold on a minute. Look who is here. We didn't think it'd be long before he popped his head out. The former world champion, Brad Skeens, is here. The Sin City showdown in Las Vegas might have just been the worst night of their careers. Him losing the title. Justice wiped out by the monster that is Sea Creature. It was not the best of nights for this man. Of course, he has a contractual rematch clause with Brad Skeens. In the biggest fight he's ever had with Mason in his career, lost it because he lost his focus. Yes, the cash-in attempt was there and that was a big enough distraction to throw him off, but realistically, once he saw that he was taken out and that he wasn't coming into the ring, he should have turned around because he had the match pretty much ready. He was lining up for a spear, he was putting Mason where he wanted him, and then he lost focus. And it's poor judgment on his part, the master of distractions himself, using Justice to help him. Justice not here tonight, and I wonder if that means what it means. Oh God, Sea Creature getting nearer there. Dangerous territory. But look at this. Soaking up the boos of the crowd. So let's hear what he has to say without further ado. This is nice, huh? Yeah, I remember my celebration party. Oh wait, I didn't get one. Mort, you are not my priority at this moment, but my team got pretty badly hurt last night because of that thing you brought in, so you best believe that I am not done with you. But right now, Mason, you are my priority. Let's stop kidding ourselves, eh, Mason? The fans didn't do shit. The only man who helped you was Mr. Money in the Bank by distracting me. I mean, we all know that that's the only way you get your belts, right? But you know why it doesn't bother me at all? History. You see, me and you have a long way back, Mason. And I remember a time where you pinned and distracted Jace to become European champion. And I took the belt from you. Fast forward to now and you're still doing it. Taking the title wins by cheap means and calling yourself a hero for doing it. Which is how I know that nothing has changed. Which is how I know that nothing will change. And when I face you in my rematch at the Last Stand pay-per-view, I still win. You still fall, and I go back to proving what I always have. That I am better than you. History is in the past, Skeens, and I'm a changed man. I've learned, evolved, and believe me that you don't scare me with the threat of a rematch. This match will obviously be a last man standing match, considering the theme of the pay-per-view. So what makes you think when it's just me and you left to knock the other out that I won't beat you? Your downfall is that you go into every fight needing a save or it's the end of you. And at Vegas, I proved that without your little lapdogs, you're nothing. Soon the record books will show that Foster ended Skeens and the Justice Movement and went on to have the longest reign in the belt's history. You didn't do shit. You didn't stop Justice. A bloody 7-foot green monster did. And I will make sure that that thing will be dealt with later. But clearly, Mason, you need to be booked back in your place. I don't give a damn if it's a last man standing match or a damn fun war. Skeens always beats Foster. Simple as that. What has happened in the past, and it will happen again. And that is never going to change, ever. So enjoy your time playing champion, because you got a trial coming up. And although 1/3 of the jury is still standing, justice will be served. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Monday Night Mayhem, the first Mayhem since the incredibly epic, crazy, confusing Sin City Showdown. It was one hell of a show, but now we get all the fallout from it. Kicking us off tonight, I guess technically, a debut matchup. So basically, for those of you who watched the pre-show and for those of you who didn't, be sure to, it was a great pre-show. We saw a mysterious man in a mask help PJ McNair to pick up the victory. And now that man tonight is here and he's in action. What we know is that this masked man was actually his brother, Will McNair. And so he has told us, and he has told the GM, that he means no harm and he does not intend to cause any more problems. But he believes that he should be on the brand, a very similar person to his brother in the sense of they both believe in this ultimate form that they have become. And according to PJ, Will McNair has only just reached his ultimate form and believed he didn't want to step into the ring until such time as he reached his ultimate form. The general manager, very eager to bring in some fresh talent, I'm sure, has decided to give him a match against the person that he got involved with at pay-per-view. So Will McNair will face tonight against Oliver Regem in our opening contest. Should he win, he can stay. And the reason if he loses he's gone is because pretty much he's bypassing the whole of Revolution to be called up here. And of course, he is family, I guess, but if we did that for him, then we have to do it for Caitlin Hall, and we've got to do it for Brianna Skeens and all of the siblings in Revolution. But the general manager seems very happy to make this call as maybe to add some more teams to the tag team division. Perhaps maybe to give McNair some direction. I don't know what the reasoning behind him deciding to do this is, but PJ McNair and his brother Will have arrived together, and it is now up to whether or not Will McNair truly is ready to compete in WIW, as to whether or not he deserves a contract. Here he is out of his robes and stuff, and he looked quite as scary outside of those robes and the creepy mask. But Oliver Regem, a man who is not happy at all with the way that things went down at pay-per-view. As much as the McNairs claim they're not here to cause problems, they're here to become a brand new tag team and do things the right way. They definitely didn't do that against Regem. If you cast your minds back to the pre-show, Oliver Regem had the match won with the Regen combo, and as he went for the cover, Will McNair removed the referee from the ring to stop the count, and then that led to the Ultimate Nightmare coming into play, and Will McNair getting the job done. Now that doesn't seem very friendly to me, but they claim they only did that to make sure that his instant impact was noted, but he says he doesn't intend to do that again here. And I mean, PJ McNair's someone we can trust. Let's just hope Will McNair isn't changing him for the worse. The bell rings, and away we go. And a lot of this they're going to have to explain to you themselves, because I don't really understand it too much, all this ultimate stuff. They'll have to explain it to you, but right now, he's not looking very ultimate as he starts this one off, receiving two massive drop kicks in the corner. Regem, as I say, is not going to be a happy bunny with the way things have gone down recently. Most of his losses haven't even been because of him, and then at the pre-show, he had a chance to show himself at Las Vegas, Nevada, and that was ruined by the intervention of Will McNair, who seems very confident out the gate. And Will McNair stepping up tonight. It was good of it. It was noble of him to want to give Regem a rematch, but as you can see, Regem is not taking that debut lightly. McNair just watching on at ringside, now wearing just his robes. And the ultimate PJ McNair, of course, when we saw his evolution, he went on a massive winning streak. And he's told us that Will, I don't know whether it's an older or younger brother, I couldn't tell you, but apparently he is going through that same phase, and this is his transition into what his version of the ultimate looks like. Perhaps this is maybe not fully ultimate for him. I don't know. I don't really understand this, as I say. All I know is that Will is here now believing he's ready to fight, but right now, he's on the receiving end of one hell of a beatdown. Manages to kick out at one early, though. It is one hard bit person to fight on your debut, I tell you that. Oliver Regem, the hardest hitting person in the entire roster, went for a shoulder tackle there, misses, and now McNair might be able to get some offense in. There's a DDT. Will McNair has been very eager to get himself into a ring for a long time, so we've been told at least. But right now, it doesn't look like he's savoring the most of this, because he's just right now on the receiving end of a huge beatdown at the hands of Regem. Huge Ica. Regem firing up. Regem was clearly not happy with the way things went down at pay-per-view, and he's proven that again here tonight. PJ McNair looking on. He doesn't look too impressed. And to be honest, neither do I, because this hasn't been the best of starts. And it might not have been the best of matches, full stop now, because a huge discus forearm right across the jaw of Will McNair into the cover. And it looked like McNair seemed pretty confident he'd kick out of that one, and he did. Big, big kick out. Trying to stay on top of him now. Oh, was thinking regen combo, but turned into a neck breaker of sorts. And into the cover now. Oh, and he almost got him. 2 count there. Catching Regem off guard. And now once again playing to the crowd, but he needs to be careful because Regem catches him. It could be all over with that regen combo. Beautiful combination and sequence, and finishing it off with a drop kick. And all of a sudden, Will McNair fighting back. And I think there's an aggriel on the outside there. And now looking for the, oh! Look for the regen combo, once again misses. Big mistakes, and now paying for it as he's getting punched down on the ropes. And now look at this. Oh! Wearing away down on the ankle here. Oh! Jesus Christ! Twisting away. Oh, God, he could have snapped his leg. And that's a good idea. Taking out the limbs, make him a lot weaker. Looking for that neck breaker again. There it is! Beautifully done by Will McNair. And into the cover. Is the second one the trick? Yes, it is! Will McNair gets the job done here tonight. And I believe that means he's just earned himself a WIW contract. And he looks happy with that. He looks like he's hobbling though. Might have picked up an injury in that one. It is his first time out, so it could be possible he could have picked up a minor injury. But look at him dancing. He looks happy. Looks like he thought that tonight was a huge success. But the McNairs are now together, and it seems as though Will McNair has become an exception and he is moving straight up to the main roster. Well, I don't know if this will be a worthy investment from the general manager, but he seems confident in the abilities of Will. Will proved himself tonight. Could the McNairs now become one of the most dangerous teams here on this brand, or are we just looking at potentially a one-off for Will McNair? We'll have to see where this all leads in the future, but for now it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, some in-ring action for this man who made one hell of an impact at the pay-per-view without being on the card. It is Robert Hall. Now, Robert Hall is scheduled to face Stephen Villa here tonight in a match one-on-one. But first, I believe he's going to address what happened at the pay-per-view. Now, if you didn't see what happened, firstly go and see it because I'm about to spoil it for you. But here is what happened. It was Brad Skeens and Mason Foster. WIW Championship on the line, and then all of a sudden, halfway through the match, none other than Mr. Money in the Bank came charging down to the ring, ready to cash in the briefcase and make it a triple threat match. However, as he charged down to the ring, he was intercepted by this man, Robert Hall, who charged down to the ring and intercepted him by coming through the crowd and taking out Mr. Money in the Bank. Now, I don't know why Robert Hall did what he did, and hopefully we'll get some news on that tonight once he speaks up and says why he did all this. But Robert Hall, not exactly someone we'd be expecting to do all this. Robert Hall usually has just been focused on one goal, and that is constant improvement, working his way up the ranks. But last night he got himself involved in a fight that I'm not sure he really needed to be a part of. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe he has justification for it. But as far as I'm aware, there was no reason for him to be a part of that fight. But, I mean, who better to tell you than him himself? Let's hand it over and hear what he says. Hey, Madman, how's your head? You see, a few weeks ago, I offered you a deal. You give me a title match after you cash in, and I would guarantee that you would become WIW champion. And I think it's more than fair, since if I decided to take down the ladder at Uprising, I would be Money in the Bank winner and not you. You see, Franco, you didn't take me seriously. In fact, I've never been taken seriously by anybody. You all think you can walk all over me. Well, that changes tonight. Franco found out the hard way that when I am treated disrespectfully, I can get a bit angry. So Ricci, be sure to think next time before you step back onto my roster, because if you don't, Mr. Madman in the Bank will become Mr. Madman in a casket. Robert Hall. That doesn't sound like the Robert Hall that I know. Very aggressive tonight, very first foot forward. And Franco, Madman Ricci, is not going to be very happy about what he has just heard. Mr. Money in the Bank looks like he's made himself a new enemy before he's even got to the main roster. His opponent tonight, he's going to have to focus on, because it's the real deal. We all know it. The real deal, Stephen Miller, stepping into the ring. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't selected to be fighting for the WIW Championship at Sin City Showdown. But it looks like if he'd have done as much damage as Mason and Skeens did, he could have been walking out world champion. And I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that. But Robert Hall clearly was focused on other regards. But he's got to focus tonight, because Stephen Miller, as I'm sure everyone is aware of by now, is no laughing matter. The bell rings, and away we go. Stephen Miller, one hell of a tough fighter despite not winning a title, but a new aggressive attitude might help Robert Hall in his favor here tonight. Robert Hall has made it clear that he's worked for everything he had. Into a roll-up here early on, just trying to get out of here. And there's a quick count, but it's only a 1 count. Robert Hall has made it clear he's worked for everything he's got. And that Ricci has just come in and tried to ruin everything he's worked towards. He's built up again. Remember, he's basically had to build his career up from the ground up, Robert Hall. So it's no surprise he feels that way. But again, I'm still not convinced, even after hearing all that this was a fight he needed to be a part of. Stephen Miller backing him into a corner here, and Miller going to show respect, not going to take any cheap shots. He's just going to back up under the referee's orders. And oh, goodness me, spinning heel kick. Beautifully done there by Robert Hall. And Hall is really bringing the fight to this one. Robert Hall now with a point to prove. Again, he says he made a deal with the champ, with Mr. Money in the Bank, but Mr. Money in the Bank, why would he accept that? In my opinion, I don't know. It's a stupid deal to make. So no wonder he said no. But Robert Hall took matters into his own hands, and as Stephen Miller takes control, he plays up to the crowd, and he looks pretty confident. The referee started the count whilst he was out. A little bit low there, that looked, but I think he's okay. Miller carries on, and now looking to fly. Oh God, look at this! Oh God! Power slam! Robert Hall gets planted down and followed through with a big knee. And into the cover he goes. Is that going to be enough to get rid of Hall? 2 count only. And Stephen Miller now on the prowl. He's doing very well here, staying in control of Robert Hall. Hall is trying to fight back, but right now, Steve Miller with complete control and showing what he can do in the ring. One tie driver could be all it takes to wrap it up. We know fully what he's capable of. Steve Miller shows every night and every day why he is called the real deal. And right now, Robert Hall trying to make himself a bit more of a real deal. trying to line himself up in the corner there, but I think it was read that Miller was getting back up to his feet. Oh, planted down there. Very nicely done. And into the cover goes Hall, but it's only a 1. That must be worry signs there from Hall. Hall we know to be a bit of a submission specialist. WIW, oh, what a big boot to the jaw. And Hall retreats, but he's getting back to his feet, I feel. And oh, and a kick back down. And Steve Miller right now in control of the situation. But for how much longer? There's a big clothesline down. And Robert Hall right now doing the job, getting it done. Oh, but now look at this. Oh, God. In trouble here as he's caught with the leg. And now Miller has him in a bad situation. That Boston Crab single leg locked in. Oh, but it's pushed away there. And now Miller in control still. But is it over here in this matchup? I don't know. Robert Hall in a bad situation, it has to be said. Stephen Miller really is producing one hell of an epic fight. Oh! Oh, God! Blatant low blow right in front of the referee. And now look at this, just beating down on Steve Miller. The ref's called for the bell. He's called disqualification, but Miller now being ambushed. And Hall, I don't know what's gotten into him. This isn't him. He doesn't act like this normally. Look, we've got more officials trying to reason with him, but he's just not listening to it. And Miller is just getting the beat down now. Look at this. This is just not Robert Hall, but it looks like he definitely has turned. He definitely doesn't look like the Hall of old. Look at him just admiring his hand. Oh, God, no. Now what? Now what? Miller back to his feet. Can he potentially fight back? He's looking for something, but what's he found? He found a baseball bat. Look at Miller, though. Oh! Now Miller fighting back. Not letting him get away with this. Steve Miller refusing to let this beatdown happen. And Robert Hall just hit from a flying Stephen Miller. But Miller gets hit with the knee, and oh, God, no, it might get worse from here. Robert Hall warning him about the bat, and now hitting him with it. And Robert Hall officially just snapping. Look at this, just beating the hell out of him. And look at this, just not necessary. This much damage. Robert Hall showing a much more nasty side to him again, as I say here tonight. And this is just unnecessary. First with the getting involved in the Franco-Ricky situation, and now this beatdown on Steve Miller, which could get even worse now. Robert Hall, look at this, with steel steps in hand. Miller getting back to his feet, but he doesn't even realize what happens as he gets hammered with steel steps now. A disgusting beatdown right now at the hands of Robert Hall. Oh my God. Oh, right onto the corner of the steel steps. Robert Hall with an unnecessary beatdown, and he continues it as he heads towards the ring. Robert Hall, why? Trying to send a message to everyone, I guess, with this beatdown as he drills his head right into the apron. Look at him admiring his work, much to the disapproval of the crowd. This is a sickening display by Hall. Robert Hall, look at him admiring his work, pleased with himself for that beatdown. Not a win for him tonight, disqualified himself, but something tells me that Robert Hall just doesn't care anymore. He has officially snapped, and Stephen Miller is the first person, or the second person behind Ricci, to find out what Robert Hall is truly capable of. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, a coronation match, I guess, of sorts, for our newest Cruiserweight champion, the two-time Cruiserweight champion, James Rowley, making his way to the ring He has finally got it back after a grueling 2 out of 3 Falls Count Anywhere match at the pay-per-view of Sin City Showdown. James Rowley, after deciding to take the high road and not use weapons, managed to beat BJ Kidd. Oh God, no. No, 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 no. Speaking of BJ Kidds, here he is now, and Rowley hasn't even noticed. Might want to turn around. Oh God. Beating Rowley down with the chair, but look at this Rowley. Rowley saying this is his celebration. This is his moment. You're not going to spoil it. But it looks like that's exactly what BJ Kidds is out here to do. BJ Kidds not happy that Rowley was the person he was supposed to be fighting at pay-per-view. And now, it doesn't look like he's too happy that Rowley found a way to overcome him. James Rowley trying to fight off the attack from BJ Kidds. The referee trying to get some help down here, try and call some order. This was not the match that was scheduled, but it doesn't look like Rowley cares, because Rowley isn't going to let BJ Kidds ruin his first night as the Cruiserweight Champion. Big strike to the face. Well, we know BJ Kidds has an entitled contractual rematch clause, and it looks like he's made it clear that he is coming for it, and he is planning on cashing that in. But he sends a huge statement to the champ tonight. I'm going to get straight to the point. Sandra Piper, I saw what you did at the pay-per-view, and I was impressed, of course. I know you're coming for me, and you know I want nothing more than to put you away for good. So why don't you come out here right now? I want a match with you for my title at the Last Stand pay-per-view. Well, ask and you shall receive. Sandra Piper has just been called out by the women's champ, and it looks like she answers after knocking off Keiva Kaiju at pay-per-view. Sandra Piper is here, and it looks like the champ has called her out for a fight for the title. We knew she could be next in line. We knew that she'd be ready and hungry to come back for the Women's Championship. But, oh no! Look at this! Wait, Kaiju! Kaiju from behind! Look at this! Oh! Kaiju! Wiping out Sandra Piper on the top of the ramp. And I guess she's not done with her yet. Sandra Piper beating Keiva Kaiju at the pay-per-view, but clearly Kaiju did not take kindly to that loss, and now taking it out on Piper. Kaiju has been trying to get another shot at the champion for weeks, and just like that, Piper is called out for one. That surely weren't going to please her. Look at Piper. I've never seen her look so powerless. She just punched out of midair by the Japanese monster. Kaiju was just never going to back down. Look at that cheap slap right across the jaw. And Keiva Kaiju sending a message, a warning to the champion, but also to Sandra, that she will not go down. Oh, hold on a minute. Piper fights her off. Piper fights her off, and now Piper trying to land a strike to get her down. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. And Piper is taken out again. And that's the thing with Piper, she just doesn't stay down regardless. But I think it's because she sees what's in store for her. And Keiva Kaiju, just, oh, big slam. Well, the champ wants a challenger, and Keiva Kaiju making it clear that she is next. Oh, wait, no, she's not done there. She's not done there. Kaiju making sure that she stays down. Power slam again. And she looks down the ramp towards the champ. And these two still going. Piper still back to her feet. And look at this. They still will not go down. Both these two scrapping it out here. Oh, God. Suplex. There's only so much more that Piper can take. A referee, the official, is out here trying to separate the fight. Look at this. Kaiju begging it. The referee begging Kaiju to stop. Well, Piper and Bowen want each other for the title, but it looks like someone intends on standing in their way. Well, we'll have to see what that means for everyone involved later down the line, but it's time to move on down the rest of tonight's card. Well, I guess we're not going to get that match. James Rowley not going to be too happy that his first night as champion was ruined like that. But I guess we'll have to see how what happens with that in a few weeks' time. Next up tonight, some singles action once again for the industry. More specifically, Travis Cotterrell stepping into in-ring action tonight. And this is a continuation of what happened at the pre-show main event. And if you guys didn't see what happened at the pre-show, be sure to go and check it out. The industry getting the win over SDC, but not the cleanest of wins, because as SDC managed to hit the kryptonite knee and the injustice, JW Cashman was out for the count until Travis Cotterrell and Big Boss got themselves involved and helped secure the victory for the industry by distracting the referee and allowing Cashman the time to recover. SDC did not take kindly to it. And also, we have been finding out why the industry have been favored by the referees and have not been disqualified. Basically, the referees had been bought. The referee had been paid bribes by the industry to not DQ them in their matches. And that is why they have been so successful, because all these DQ finishes that should have been have not happened. And Travis Cotterrell will have to answer tonight to a very angry, very upset SDC who lost on his very first pay-per-view back. SDC following a very good example of what it means to be a true hero. Doesn't need cheap shots, doesn't need blindsided attacks. He proves exactly why you don't have to be like Robert Hall to be on top of the brand. SDC, the hero of wrestling, stepping up to the fight again tonight. A new referee has come in. We can't guarantee that he hasn't been bribed as well, but what we can guarantee is that the referee has been given a clear warning. Any type of tomfoolery in favor of the industry or in favor of SDC is not going to end the way that potentially he would have thought it was going. But SDC, I'm not sure he's going to be worrying too much about what referees are doing. He's only going to be worrying about what he's doing, because he's got one hell of a fight ahead of him here tonight. Final checks, and the new referee rings the bell, and away we go. And again, we don't know what extent he was bribed. All we know is that the referee was bribed by the industry, and that's exactly the kind of tomfoolery you're going to expect when the three richest men in WIW all combined together to form almost a super alliance of money. Travis rolling through there on a cover, but SDC breaking out of that pretty easily. And SDC, despite losing, put on one hell of a fight. Like I say, we saw the kryptonite knee. We saw the injustice. We saw it all. He even kicked out at one of JW Cashman's signature $1 million shot. One of the most dangerous punches in all of WIW. And he kicked out at one when most people didn't even kick out at three. And SDC also had to deal with a lot in that match. And then at the end, for the ultimate embarrassment, the calling card of Cashman, and I guess the calling card of the industry, was shoved in his mouth. Whether they'll do that again here tonight, I don't know, but I mean, they seem pretty confident, the industry. Pretty sure the only loss that they had was on their initial debut, but I believe that was just Big Boss as well in singles action. Yet to lose in tag team action, and yet gone. I wonder why. If they're bribing referees, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to get results. That doesn't mean to say that they're not exceptional fighters in their own right. Big Boss, one of the most dangerous tag teams not too long ago in the Blood Brothers when he lined with Bruiser Brad. Never caught gold, but they came very, very close If he'd have stayed a little bit longer on Bruiser Brad's side, they could have had a world title to their collection. Who knows? But that's in the past now, and he's focusing solely on the industry. As for Travis and Cashman, both former television champions. Travis the first ever, Cashman the first person to take it from Big Willie. Willie, of course, now losing it to Liam Connors in a very messy situation over on the Fight Night brand. And, of course, 2 weeks away from the Christmas Clash. We're still in the festive spirit. And look at this. Travis, not going to be too festive here. He flies to the top. Is he ready to fly to the outside? This is big. Oh, God. Travis took the risk. Risk didn't pay off, and SDC managed to sidestep. And now going to use the outside apron to his advantage. SDC very good around it. Oh, God, I don't like this one bit. I don't like this one bit. Look at this. Cashman and Big Boss surrounding SDC and Travis. At any moment, they could just go, fuck this, and jump them. And SDC would be powerless to stop it. But SDC getting out of harm's way back into the ring. It's where he likes to conduct his business. That's where he does it best. SDC, former hardcore champion, into the cover there off an interesting slam. Shoulder is up, though. Former hardcore champion SDC. It was the first title he ever won. Recently lost, and a loser leaves the brand, and that's how he ended up back here on Mayhem. But Mayhem is his home. You just ask anyone here. Look at Travis, though. Looking to give. Oh, God! 630 senton. Oh, but look at that. Springs straight back to his feet. As if nothing even happens. And now Travis going to make him pay for that. Travis now, what's he thinking? Looking for a straight jacket. Oh, he is as well. Straight jacket over the knees. Travis. Dangerous submission here. Referee asking SDC, does he want to give up? Is he going to tap? But of course, SDC never gives in. Almost bridged that through into a cover, but Travis had that spotted. And now Travis once again with the leg sweep. And once again hooking the leg, just trying to get out of here quick as he can to count. SDC, such a tough customer. Such a difficult fighter to beat. But Travis now looking to get it done with a submission hold if he can. We've seen this one get it done in the past. And he does it. Travis Cotterrell clean as day on this one. Gets the job done. Travis Cotterrell and the rest of the industry take out SDC tonight.
Here is your winner, Travis.
Travis stands to... Oh, no. Look at this. No. The industry just never can let a win be a win or a loss be a... Oh, look at this. Damas comes to the rescue. What a save by Damas of all people. A much-needed save there. Had the industry got their hands on SDC, that could have been the end of SDC right there. But Damas knows firsthand what the industry are capable of. Well, the League of Gods coming to the rescue tonight, but the industry continuing their reign of tyranny. They really are picking up steam here on Mayhem, and they don't look to be slowing down anytime soon. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card. Well, a crazy night of action. Everyone seems to be on edge after everything that went down at the Sin City Showdown. And that's, of course, going to lead to some big matches when we get to the Last Stand pay-per-view. But it's time for tonight's main event. And it is the WIW champion, the new WIW champion in action. It is none other than the Welsh Dragon, Mason Foster. Last night at pay-per-view, did what he finally set out to do. His life's work here in WIW. He had finally done it. Mason Foster became the WIW champion. He's, I believe, the second person now to hold both the European and WIW championship. Oh, third person, actually, because technically Rage did it a couple of hours, or maybe just an hour before he did. But for Mason, he won't care about any of that. He finally has done what he said he was going to do, and that is become the world champion. It's been a title he's been hunting for a long time. And Mason Foster, always the courageous fighting champion, ready to show what he can do. He's up against someone who, had the polls gone differently, could have been world champion right now. It is Jax Wolfe. Jax Wolfe was put in the poll with Stephen Miller, Tyson Jackson, and Mason Foster. The winner would go on to fight Skeens at pay-per-view. In the end, Foster won. And I'm sure Jax Wolfe would like to get a bit of revenge for that tonight because, like I say, had things gone that way, it could have been that anyone's ball game, especially if he was determined to cash in on that night regardless. I think Ricci made a rash decision choosing to cash in on that night. There was definitely better times for it. But for Jax Wolfe, he won't care about all that. All he'll care about is that Mason is the champion right now, and he's not. Which is exactly why he's going to want to prove himself tonight, because we could be looking potentially at including him in a world title match in the very near future. The bell rings, and we're on the way. And Mason going to go straight out the gate there and take the legs. Mason, like to say, he did come in with a very clear strategy last time out by taking the legs, and he did. That's not a dispute, but in the end, he won with the butterfly DDT, which he, of course, he's famous for, but it was only after the distraction. And like Skeens said at the beginning, as much as I hate to agree with Skeens, he is right. History has shown Mason winning titles unfairly doesn't always end well. You remember him winning the European Championship from Jace on a roll-up, ending Jace's monstrous reign as European Champion. Of course, that didn't work out in his favor too well, as Brad Skeens went to take it from him. I do hope that Mason isn't a one and done here. Mason has spent his whole career trying to capture the WYW Championship. And look at this. A very confident Jax Wolfe early on in this matchup. And he's showing why now. Landing the strikes. Mason managing to escape here. He's in a bad spot on the ropes. That could end very badly. Should Mason catch him? Springs out of harm's way though. Doesn't quite catch the forearm cleanly though. Of course, it's important for everyone now to step up to Mason and show what they can do. Mason, unlike Skeens, will be more than likely here every week because Mason is that type of fighter. He believes in standing up and standing in the ring. He's not here to mess around. He's here to prove exactly why he belongs in the ring. Jax Wolfe has been in and out of the action. Jax Wolfe, of course, as well, a former European champion. Of course, he didn't have the longest of reigns, but Jax Wolfe had a very nice reign, and that was also ended by Mason Foster in Mason's second reign with champion as well. So Jax Wolfe with a point to prove here against Mason Foster. Sweep of the legs there and catching the ropes on the way down. I think he felt that one. But Mason Foster now, his first time as world champion. We'll see how he does. Rolling through into a knee bar here. Very nice transition. And continuing to work on the legs early in hopes of maybe locking in the figure 4 leg lock later down the line. Once again, the leg kicks flying in. It's very clear that Mason comes in with strategy. Oh, look at this. Mason now. Full use of the ropes. Twisting the knees and the legs. Very nicely done. And now Mason, once again, straight back to working on the legs. Jax Wolfe in a very bad spot right now, as Mason is gaining a full head of steam. Once again, lifting him up. Just a drill down the knee. And a leg sweep as well. Mason looking very impressive in his first night out as WIW champion. Holding the knee, but he is not doing very well with it. Mason doing a fantastic job of leg targeting. And you can see him holding his legs there, Jax Wolfe. He is not in great shape. Wolfe going to have to try and find a way back. Trying to find something to push himself forward in this one. But the relentless targeting of the knees and legs from Mason Foster makes him such a difficult opponent to deal with. And Mason just so smart in that regard. Knows exactly where he's going. Knows exactly what he's targeting. And he uses that to full effect. And it's a smart strategy, to be fair. You take out the legs. You take out the support system. And you make things a hell of a lot harder. And now Mason, looking for the figure 4. Has all the leg damage. Done the trick here to get rid of Jax Wolfe here. And his first night of champion. Figure 4. There it is. Wolfe held in for as long as he could, but too much leg damage done to him early. And Mason Foster gets the job done on his first night as champion. A huge victory was what was needed to prove why he was champion, or why he became the champion at pay-per-view. A lot of questions of whether or not he deserved it, but tonight he proved it. He proved he was a worthwhile fighter. He proved he could be a worthwhile champion. Mason gets the job done very effectively here tonight. Oh, wait a minute, look at this! Look who's behind him! Skeens! Skeens is here and... Oh! Oh, just a stare down between these two. Skeens not doing anything? That seems unusual, but it looks like he's just going to let Mason walk. And Skeens, not normally the type, but I guess with the long history between these two, there clearly is a mutual understanding. Oh God, never mind. I should have seen that coming. Skeens giving Foster some false hope there, thinking that there was mutual respect between the two. Clearly, Skeens has no respect for anyone, as he proves constantly. And now what's he thinking here? Oh no! Barricading the collapsing underneath Mason Foster as he is speared into the ramp. And Brad Skeens sends a message. He is coming back for his championship. And ladies and gentlemen, that is where we're going to end it tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.